what's the baggage of Western culture that we are called to let go of as we step into a childlike kind of faith?
Yeah, well, I sum it up with those two phrases. I think, therefore I am, which is the classic kind of Descartes
Mm-hmm.
phrase of defining ourselves primarily as thinking beings. And much has been written about the damage that has done in recent centuries to the whole human experience. Setting aside, asking us to leave our emotions and our instincts and our bodies at the door, it does real damage to the human being. And I think Jesus was more able to be human than we often are. He was more willing to step into that entire human experience. And I believe God is bombarding us constantly with messages to our senses, to our instincts, to our emotions, in addition to our minds. And if we're only willing to be open to what he can do in our minds, then we're wearing down one small piece of ourselves and we're missing out on all the other things that he's saying to us through creation and through emotion and through instinct. And then the I do, therefore I am thing is just a kind of a natural ramification of being creatures or children of the Industrial Revolution. That the in recent centuries, it's really been almost like human beings become cogs in a machine of productivity. And sadly, even in the church, when I talk about this, I hear people saying that sounds so wonderful to have a rest or to trust that God is ultimately carrying everything. How do I even do that? How do I even begin? And so for me, one of the most radical things we can do, if we do really believe that God is carrying the world and the church and our lives, then if we really believe that, that means we can stop sometimes. And it's really uncomfortable. For me, I do take a Sabbath once a week, a whole day off, to just rest in the fact that God delights in me, even though I'm not accomplishing anything. And it's really, really uncomfortable in a culture that tells me I'm defined by my identity. But something grows from that stays with us for the rest of the week, trusting that even when we are productive, God ultimately is the one carrying his church and the world.